Putting it all together. State standards HS1.T.CR2.B examine and justify original ideas and artistic choices in a theatrical work based on critical analysis, background knowledge, and/or historical and cultural context. Cross-curricular state standard ELA-literacy.RL.9-10.5 analyze how an author's choices concerning how to structure a text create effects within it. In summary of what we have learned in this unit so far is that Shakespeare's writing style includes a combination of verse, otherwise known as poetry, and prose. Specifically, that style of verse is blank verse, which is unrhymed iambic pentameter. The prose and the verse tell the actor different things about how to play the part. Prose characters, in other words, a character who speaks primarily using prose, are lower class or middle class characters, but they sometimes speak in verse when they're emotional. So, for example, a prose character who falls in love may start speaking in verse. A verse character is a character who speaks primarily in blank verse all the time, are either very wealthy or upper class characters, but sometimes they will speak in prose when they are being crude, for example, telling a dirty joke, when they are losing political power, or when they are losing their mind. Verse characters who begin rhyming have fallen in love. The kind of verse that Shakespeare uses is blank verse, which is unrhymed iambic pentameter. Iambic pentameter consists of lines of 10 syllables that follow a soft-loud pattern for all 10 syllables. Soft-loud, 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 soft-loud. If a line is not perfect iambic pentameter because the syllable count is off, before you make a judgment call, first try to fix it. If there are too few syllables, look for a way to create an extension. Usually, this will take the form of the letters ed on the end of a multisyllable word that could be pronounced in Elizabethan English that is not pronounced in modern English. Words like blessed instead of blessed, learned instead of learned, etc. If you have too few syllables, 9 or fewer, and there is no way to create an extension, you have found a line of prose. If there are too many syllables, you have 11 or more syllables. First, before you make any other determination, try to create an elision. An elision can be made by removing a V to create a one-syllable word out of a two-syllable word, removing the letters ER from the center of a three-syllable word to make it a two-syllable word, creating a contraction of small words that isn't used regularly in modern English, or by checking to see if the pronunciation of that word would change the syllable count in a British accent or even a very strong Southern accent. If you have a line that still doesn't fit the meter, there are too many syllables and no way to create an elision, then you have found a feminine ending. And this line is really important. Shakespeare is telling the actor, hey, this line has an important thought in it. Slow down, speak up, make sure the audience hears this. If the rhythm of the syllables switches around, if Shakespeare has placed a word in a line of iambic pentameter in such a way that it messes up the pattern of emphasis. For example, one of your iambs flips around to become loud soft instead of soft loud, then you have found a trochaic inversion. Remember, you, the actor, are not allowed to make these, so you cannot create an elision that causes trochees later in your line. Can't do it, not allowed. This is only the case when Shakespeare has done it. In other words, a word is placed in a line of iambic pentameter in a way that flips the emphasis pattern. This is called a trochaic inversion, and this is an indication that the character is getting really emotional. If the character has been sort of crushing on another character in the play, this is the moment where they fall in love. You might also see verse, especially rhymed verse, accompanying this, a trochaic inversion here. If the character has been a little ticked off, you see a trochaic inversion, that's the moment where they get angry and furious with what's going on in this situation. If they have been upset or sad, this is the moment where they're going to start crying, because this is the moment where they just can't hold back the tears anymore. If you ever see a trochaic inversion and a feminine ending on the same line, pay attention to that line. That means that not only is our character really emotional, they're also saying something really, really important. So actor, your job is to really pay attention to that line and make sure that not only have you turned up the emotional intensity, but also you are delivering the lines in such a way that the audience is not going to miss anything you say.